Hey guys, before we start the show, I wanted to remind you guys that if you are interested in launching your own podcast, or if you have a current podcast that you would like to rebrand, this is your chance. Idea to Launch Academy. Go to my show description, use my affiliate code. You don't want to miss this chance. My coach, Carla Ramirez, has another round coming up, and the self-paced course is still available. So this is your chance. What are you waiting for? Go to my show description, Idea to Launch Academy. You don't want to miss this. You could be here just like me on a mic telling your story. Go use my affiliate code. Go. Hurry. Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Miss D. On this weekly show, you will tune in to discussions of different topics about today's society, culture, and adulthood. Of course, there's always juicy conversation with a little bit of love and plenty of sex. And let's not forget the stories of all relationships and the mess with relationships. Join me every week along with my friends and guests to get your dose and keep it raw on everything and anything. And remember, no topic is off limits. All right, so we're going to start. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, everyone, to another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Miss D. And today, I don't know what I got myself into, but it's here and it's going to happen. And y'all are going to hear it. I have with me 2 guests. I know them, maybe I met them like at 18. So y'all gonna do the math, but I'm gonna be 35. And what better moment to do it than now after they have officially welcomed 35 and Fine. And you know, they have lived up the Libra season, and so we're in full bliss of Scorpio season now. So why not just get together, some food, some drinks, and chop it the fuck up. I have here for you guys the ones and onlys, Karma and Vane. Welcome, ladies, to my show.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having us. Yes. Super excited to be here today.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I think, well, no, Karma's podcast cherry's already been popped, but Vane's is today. Today we pop Vane's podcast cherry.
I'm so excited. I put extra lube on and everything just for this.
Thank God.
I was hoping to go dry, but
not today. Not today. All right. So these baddies, they can dance, they can sing. Y'all can sing.
I sure as hell
no, not Carmen.
They lying.
I cannot hold the tune, Daisy. I was in chorus in junior high school for 2 years, and I cannot hold a tune.
She lying. I rebuke that statement.
She must have been drunk.
I was drunk. So I bring these amazing ladies here today. We have some shit to talk about. Of course, you guys know I always like to keep it very raw on this platform. And so there's some shit I want to address. I want to bring up. I want to talk about. But before we do, I wanted to see how you guys were doing. How are we coping with our new lives, working from home, remote learning, you know, the whole 9. Okay.
You want to go first?
That remote learning got me stressed. And my kid is only in kindergarten, and I am stressed because I'm actually teaching him stuff. Last week, I was like, you know what? My internet's not working. Like, miss, the internet's not working today. Kaden won't be attending.
Miss.
Because I was tired, and I got to actually get up and function.
Was your internet working? And
it was absolutely 100% working. And Kaden was still sleeping, and I was hungover. This was like the day after my birthday. It was after my birthday.
Well, I mean, either one of your birthdays, it would have made sense.
Like, no.
That is that remote learning. Remote learning has been going okay for us, except my son overslept and he did not sign in. Who makes it late to remote learning for attendance? My son, my kid, of course. Yeah,
it happens. Like, no.
Good times with working from home, remote learning. I'm back in the hospital working face-to-face with humans. I am not going to go off on it. Maybe in my last segment of the overdose, I might go the fuck off, but not right now. We are going to go right into the icebreaker of today. You guys have been advised. It will be titled, Who Am I? Okay.
You got this, Vane? Because I don't.
I didn't give them much to it.
I've already had like a whole bottle of that Snoop wine,
Yes.
so I don't know.
What's it called? 19 what?
19 Crimes.
19 Crimes.
Snoop Dogg edition.
Y'all, these bitches should know by now. I love Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is bae for me. I love Snoop Dogg. Happy birthday to Snoop Dogg. It was just his birthday. It was
Happy
just
birthday,
his birthday.
Snoop.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Snoop, hit me up.
So for the record, like I said, I met these ladies. I think I was around 18. I think I should. I think it was 17, 18. Yeah.
Like
Back in the college days. And so I figured, why not just give them 5 little guesses of 5 people between the years of 2003 and 2007. Y'all got to see their faces right now. This is epic. And see if they could guess who I'm talking about.
Wait, like people that we know,
celebrities
or like
people
celebrities
from like the club room?
First of all, I don't incriminate my own people, so it would be celebrities, movie stars.
Because
Like,
so that I would have had a better chance if it would have been people from the club room. So no.
But I can't tell you stories about people in the club room, because then I'll be incriminating myself.
That's true.
I don't want all that business out there.
Me neither.
All right. For those who don't know, you don't need to know what the club room is. But this is going to be about movie stars and singers, and this will be fun. So we're going to start with 2003. This was a song that definitely made it to the end of year of 2003 on the top Billboard. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little snippet of the lyrics. Let me see if I can pull this off.
Can I get
okay?
a genre?
This is rap music.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so these are the lyrics. Ready? I'm not gonna rap it because my throat is not right. Don't ask me why. My flow, my. What was I doing last? No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't last night. No,
That's the problem.
No, it was best. Y'all don't want to know. This is not the time for me to tell you why not. All right, so the lyrics are: my flow, my show brought me the dough. That bought me all the fancy things. My crib, my cars, my pools, my jewels. Look, I came up. I ain't changed.
I know the
I
song.
won't be able to tell you who the celebrity is.
Like, okay, so really quickly, you can put a song on for me. I can sing the lyrics for you. Ask me who sung the song. I have no idea.
Okay, okay.
Also, like intros, the song will start and be like, you know this. And I'm like, no, I don't. Then the chorus, I'm like, yo, that's my shit. But I don't, other than that, I don't.
Okay, let's see. Maybe if I flow it a little bit better for you.
Yes.
Now, Shorty says she feeling my style, she feeling my flow.
Yes.
Oh, 50. Fuck 50. For the record,
Now
endorsing
I say fuck
motherfucking
50.
Trump. Fuck 50. But I love 50, but fuck 50.
I
He
mean,
had me at power the whole time. Definitely with this song. It was definitely at the top Billboard of 2003.
if you would have said the "Don't Push Me" song, I would have guessed it right away.
I
but-
mean, listen. Hello in the club. Go, Shorty. It's your birthday,
yes.
bitches.
I'm gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's my birthday. You know that I don't give a fuck because it's not.
All right. 2004. I'm going to give you
God.
guys movie stars, okay?
I'm out.
I know you
like,
guys don't know this one.
2004, I wasn't watching movies. I was drinking liquor.
She was probably making movies. That's probably what was happening.
Hey.
Maybe.
2004, was I 18 yet?
Yes, we were.
Yeah,
We were definitely 18. Yeah, we were.
I wasn't.
So these are actually two out of 4 brothers. Okay,
Wayans brothers.
This bitch. But can I finish saying? I don't know. I gave that one away, but now I need you to guess the movie
We're
because they're movie
brothers.
stars.
White
okay?
chicks.
We're happy.
It is white
and we're
chicks.
singing
It
and-
is white chicks.
Tell me what it was.
I was gonna describe
Do it.
the
Describe. All right.
characters.
Do it.
Making
do
my
it.
way downtown.
That's exactly what I was gonna
I'm
sing.
horrible at that.
Oh
shit.
my God.
How could you not? That's like the best one ever. All right, so they got it. 2004, White Chicks.
Damn, 2 for 2.
Wayans
Who
Brothers.
are we?
Yes. All right, 2005. Another song, top Billboard. It ended for the 2005 period.
2005.
Okay.
What genre?
This is what is it, like a ballad? I think it's like a ballad. So she's bomb as fuck. She's been in the industry for quite some time, okay?
Rihanna. I don't know.
When did she start?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hey,
yeah.
Mr. DJ, come on the replay.
Right. But when did
Mr.
she
DJ.
start?
I don't know. That was like, she was out.
Nah, this bitch has been around.
She's been around.
She's been around.
No, but this bitch has
All
been
right.
around.
We're gonna shut up.
All right.
She's giving us
All right.
clues.
No, I'm being fair. Okay. I didn't mean it when I said I didn't love you so. I should have held on tight. I never should have let you go. I didn't know nothing. I was stupid. I was.
Wait, hold on.
I was stupid. I was foolish. I was lied to myself.
Yes. Who is?
Yes. Who is it?
Ciara. No.
Wait.
Mariah Carey.
I love that song.
We belong together.
Yes, I love that song.
It's Mimi. It's Mimi. Come on, guys, Mimi. But she happened.
Me and Mariah.
She.
Come back like babies to pacify. All right, I'm done.
All right, we got 2006.
No, you're not.
Wait, we got 2006. Okay.
That's 3 for 3.
Okay, 2006. Mm-hmm. This is a movie star again. He's been around for quite some time. Okay. I am going to speak on a movie that he has. I think this is probably one of the most emotional and devastating movies I've ever seen, but it was beautiful at the end. He was recently involved in an entanglement.
Will Smith.
Okay. Now, this is one of his most emotional movies.
What's the little with his son, Jaden?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Very good.
I actually read that book, and I love that book. I love that book so much that I wanted the author to be the speaker at our graduation.
Ooh.
And it never happened.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. So 2006, this was actually one of the dopest movies of that year. I'm going to be honest. I did not know of this movie back then. I was actually not even a mother. I was totally probably somewhere in a staircase doing something I had no business doing.
Exit 18.
It's very incriminating.
It's sad because I didn't do anything at that exit.
No, neither did I. Except drink. I did a lot of drinking at that exit.
I didn't do anything.
I had a few exits.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
I only got one exit. Everything else is an entrance. But
I meant of the building. I had a few exits.
Be specific.
I did. I don't know why. Why didn't I just stick to like one? I wonder.
You know, you gotta switch it up sometimes.
Options.
It's all good.
I guess. That's interesting.
Depended on the flavor of the week.
Yeah.
I wasn't even changing them up like that. That's so sad. All right, 2007. Okay, this is going to be obviously the last year. This is another top Billboard song for the year ending of 2007. Okay, let me sing. I'm not going to sing it. I can't sing like this baddie right here, but I'm going to try my best, okay? Okay.
I'm sure you'll be better than me.
The pre-chorus goes, standing in the front yard, tell me how I'm such a fool. Talking about how I'll never ever find a man like you.
Is this Beyonce?
You got me twisted.
Beyonce.
You must not know about me.
Yes.
You must not.
Okay.
I guess I can have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute.
So let me just say this. This is exactly the moment I discovered just how powerful this woman was. Like it was with the song.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. You see, this is why I wanted to do this, because this tends to open up like kind of like a Pandora's box of the years prior and what the fuck was I doing then type of shit. And this is why I wanted to take it back a little bit. Oh, okay. You all right?
We're good.
She's struggling.
Fixing the hookah.
She fixing that hookah. All right. So we're going to go right into As Raw as It Gets. So a disclaimer, no topic is off limits from the host to the guest and vice versa. So if y'all got some shit to ask me or anything like that, you can as it pertains to the topic. And this topic, I'm going to title it Bonds and Myths, Oh My. Karma and Vane, not only are they best friends, right? And I happen to know them from college, but they happen to have a very unique bond that I strongly admire. And the reason why I say unique is because growing up, I cannot say I've seen it often in friends. I've always seen it like just amongst family. It's something I think that was so wrongfully taught to me growing up, and I hate it now. You guys are actually comadres. And for those of you, my listeners, who do not know what a comadre is, it's basically when you choose someone to be the godmother of your child. You know, obviously for religious purposes. Some people do it for other type of purposes, but we're not going to go down that road, okay? Now.
Not today, at least.
Not today. And I actually wanted to talk about this because about over a year ago, Marcus and I, my son and I, decided that since he's going to be confirmed, he's going to do his confirmation. It's actually this week. It was postponed due to the pandemic. He needed a sponsor, and he chose to be his godmother, his sponsor, my best friend, Tina. And Tina and I have been best friends since we are 13 years old. Okay, so that's 22 years of friendship. So I wanted to tackle this topic because, for one, like I said, I think you guys have a very unique bond. I love the bond that you guys have as best friends, and you are able to balance that out as comadres. And I'm going to tell you why I say balance it out, because I've seen some comadres fight. I've seen fights. But I wanted to go into it deeper on how did that decision come about? When did this spark happen? And I'm calling it now a spark. That was not the intent, but Karma actually put up a little something the other day about friends, soulmates. And I think that just hit home essentially with what this conversation is about, what you guys share, and how essentially I look at my bitch, my best friend, Martina. So I wanted to know, when did this start for you guys? Like, when did you know that you were going to pick Karma as the godmother of your child?
So she was actually, aside from like my mom and my sister, she was the first one to know I was pregnant, because
I remember that day.
we were having a little get together at her house when she lived back in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
And all our sorority sisters was coming over and everything, and I got to her house. She was like, "Bitch, you look so fly, you glowing, da da da."
Wait,
And
let me stop you there. So as I'm getting ready for this, I hadn't seen her in a while, and she's like my drinking partner as well. And I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be drinking. I was so excited. I was making pina coladas and all of this. And then she comes and I'm like offering her a drink, and then you can go from there.
So she's offering me a drink or whatever. But in the process of saying that, she's like, "Oh my God, you look so good." Da, da, da. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, you look so good." And I'm like, that's probably because I got a fucking whole human inside of me. But I wasn't telling nobody that. So then I get to her house. I was like, "I need to talk to you." No?
I was offering you drinks and you kept
yeah.
saying no, and you were like that you were on antibiotics. And I was like, when has that ever stopped?
Yeah,
That's a lie.
Because
But then that's when I finally was like, "I need to talk to you."
and then you were like, but I can't. And then you were like, sit down.
And I was like, "So I just found out I'm pregnant."
And my mouth literally dropped. I was like, oh my God.
So then the rest of the day, she was like, "Oh, I'll make you a batch just for you, so it
Yes,
could look like you're
virgin.
drinking."
Yes.
So she was the only one that knew, whatever. And then I guess a few months went by. Like, in the forefront of my mind, the comadre for my child was gonna be my sister. I have another best friend that I've known since freshman year of high school, and it's literally like them, right? And with my sister, I was like, well, my sister's already gonna be a titi, so if she's already gonna be a titi, then that's from her. That's all Cadian needs. Like, he needs backups on backups, right? At the time, I didn't know if that was gonna be his name, but you know, this little peanut, this is what he's gonna need. My other friend, she's not Catholic per se. Her husband's Catholic, and she's never been. She never did confirmation, communion, none of that stuff. So I did want someone that had the background of being Catholic, and then Carmen and I had gotten so close throughout the years. Like, it was crazy because she has a best friend. She already had a best friend from childhood, like her day one, right? And I had my best friend, my day one. And then it was just kind of one of those things where I was like, you know what? I think I want Carmen to be the godmother because of all the things that come with it. Like my other friend, we do this thing, I don't know if it's in every Hispanic household or Latino household, but we do la madrina de agua y la madrina de la iglesia. So my other friend, I had her do the bendición de agua in my house. So she's also a godmother.
Which, if you don't speak Spanish, is just a blessing with holy water.
With holy water in the house. And it's not like anything official, but it is the first blessing that the child gets before he goes into the church. And so then I felt like it would be an amazing opportunity to have Carmen be his godmother, because she had both the Catholic Church background, which I grew up under, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that I follow now, but I did want him to have that background. She knows me like the fucking back of her hand. Like, I would say she knows me just as well as my sister and my other friend. And it was like one of those things where I was like, you know, this is definitely what I want. And I asked her, even before I was like 5, I don't even think I was like 5 months. I was like, so I think I want you to be my son's godmother. She started fucking bawling. I was like, what the hell?
Because
she's like, oh my God, no one's ever asked me before the baby was born. And she was so emotional. I was I had no idea this was gonna happen. Like, cause to me it was just like logically thinking and all these things, and for her it was like this whole thing. And I was like, oh my God, are you okay?
Because like asking someone to be a godmother, like some people don't put thought into it, right?
Right.
But I hold it. I remember being in her kitchen. She was cooking something up. And then she was like, By the way. And I was like, what?
Mad nonchalant.
Yes, mad nonchalant. And I was like,
typical Vanessa fashion.
Yes.
I was like,
and I was like,
spatula
oh,
in hand.
So yes. So I was honored, you know, because I didn't expect it. And it was the first time that I was asked to be a godmother before the child was even born. So I was going to love the baby regardless because she was my best friend. But the fact that I was going to be his godmother was just like, oh my God, I'm going to be his godmother. I knew before, you know, like he was born, I'm going to be his godmother. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have...
Little did we know she was actually going to be my baby daddy.
Yes. And then I went from godmother to baby daddy. So I'm / baby daddy godmother, you know.
I have so many baby daddies. I have 2 baby daddies.
She don't mean it that way.
Well, technically I have 3, but my 2 real baby daddies are her and my sister.
Okay.
They're like my baby daddies. And then I got, I guess, his real
the
baby
daddy.
The baby daddy.
And the funny thing is that the baby daddy and I share the same birthday.
Oh.
Yes.
Which
is funny, right?
Daisy's always going to get some information out here because I definitely didn't know that.
Yeah,
so it's interesting.
Yes.
Oh.
And she always gets first dibs.
Of course I do.
And it just, ironically enough, every weekend that he'll be like, oh, I'm going to take Katie. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. Carmen's taking him this weekend. And the irony behind that is that he doesn't really ask to take him often.
Right.
But the days that he does ask to take him are the same fucking weekends that Carmen goes, yo, I'm going to take Katie on this day. And I'm like, no.
Dad, what do I do?
And I would just be like, she said she was taking him before you. Sorry. And it's like, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
For the 14th, when it was her birthday, Katie called her first before his dad.
Yeah.
Like,
first diaper she ever changed, she gagged, threw up in her mouth a little bit.
Not first diaper. First shitty diaper was with him. Because my mom was a babysitter, so I used to help my mom out.
Yes, I
But
know
when
that.
it was a shitty diaper, I was like, I'm not getting paid for this. You take care of this, right?
Oh.
So he was literally the first shitty diaper that I,
Was it a messy shit diaper?
Oh, yes.
Like it was all over?
That was his style.
neck.
His style was
Style.
only shitty diapers.
So like he introduced me to motherhood.
Yes.
And what I hate is that when I tell people I don't know if I want kids, I was like, I look at my godson like my son.
Right.
They're like, it's not the same. I'm like, don't tell me it's not the same.
Right.
I didn't birth him. Yes, I didn't feel him kicking. None of that. But he introduced me to motherhood. Like, you know, I experienced a lot of things. Of course, I'm not there 24/7, but I have been there where, like, I didn't shower because I was taking care of him. I didn't go out because he ended up sleeping. Even though we had plans, he ended up sleeping. Or he was sick and I decided not to go, you know? Like, took days off so I could take care of him so Vanessa could do whatever she had to do. So it's like, it's different, yes. But at the same time, it's a different connection that people don't understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you. So I became godmother to my nephew Timothy before he was born. Like me and my sister just knew, like we would make each other godmothers to our kids.
Yeah.
And I was Timothy's, and nobody could tell me that I didn't know what it was to be a mom before that, because when I took the role of a godmother, to me, that's my kid. Yeah. That's it. That's how I've learned the role and the topic of God parenting, and your responsibilities if God forbid something was to happen to my sister. Like, I know how I need to step in when it comes to him. And the reason why I love so much that you guys share this is because for me to make that decision, or even some of my friends, and I'm going to give them a shout out because I actually had them on the show, to Nikki and Becky. Nikki and Becky were on the show with, it was a bonus episode with my best friend Tina. And Nikki and Becky is actually unique. They are comadres, and they remained very good best friends and comadres. But the irony is, Becky was actually in a relationship with Nikki's cousin. And so they broke up. Okay. But their bond still remains. And so a lot of the commentary, when you see situations like that, or for me, like I chose my brother-in-law to be Marcus's communion godfather, not one of my brothers. One of my brothers already his baptism godfather. It's like, oh, but what happens if they break up? Like, oh my God, like this is why you're supposed to stick to family.
Well, that's the same thing, because Kadian's godfather from the church is my high school best friend's husband.
Not from the church.
Yes.
De Agua.
No.
Stephanie's husband is
that's what I just said. My high school best friend's husband.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking
of the baby daddy.
No.
I'm thinking baby daddy's
no,
cousin.
Adam is Kadian's godfather, and that's my best friend's husband.
Yeah.
And I've known Adam since I was 19, maybe 20. Like, I've known Adam forever because she's been with Adam forever. So it was just one of those things where I don't really have a lot of males in my life, period.
Right.
I don't have any brothers. My aunt had boys, but they were just not people that I thought in my mind would be present.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, knowing the person that he was, I was like, this would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, even though I had Stephanie as like a comadre de agua or like a madrina de agua, I was like, Adam would be perfect to be his actual godfather.
Mm-hmm.
And my son's father wanted to put somebody. I was like, yeah, no, that's not happening.
Right.
First of all, like, that person's probably never going to be in Kadian's life. And I know this man will. You know? So that was like no doubt in my mind. And even to this day, I know that I don't think they're ever going to separate. But if that was something that did happen, I know for a fact that he would continue to be in his life.
Right.
So.
Right. And I agree with you, which is why I wanted to bring that to the table, because recently with so many backed up due to the pandemic confirmations and communions, and I've heard a lot of friends have the conversation of, you know, another baby's on the way, and, you know, my mom is saying this or my dad is saying this, and like, oh, no, not your friends. And it's like, no, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm running out of siblings. And I have some pretty dope fucking best friends who, in my fucking toughest, darkest, no groceries in the fridge times with a newborn, just showed up with groceries.
And you know what? I think also when you become a godmother, you also get really possessive. Because I'm my friend Stephanie, who's the girl we've been talking about, I'm her first child, Jojo's godmother, right? And then when she had her second child, Mark,
she wanted to be the godmother.
I was like, I want to be the godmother for Mark too. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna say that. And then
I was like, but aren't you the god? She's like, yeah, but I also want to be the godmother.
And then they went with someone else, and I was like, Mark is supposed to be mine too. And then, you know, it was just one of those things where I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna say something. Like, I want him too. I just, you know, and don't get me wrong, like, I love my JoJo to pieces, but I wanted both of them. And that's just, you just become a little selfish, you know, like, they're siblings, I want them both.
Very protective too, because I know that's something you share.
I'm very protective.
Right.
It is.
And Carmen and I fucking fight like family. Don't get that shit twisted. Like, we'll get into our, but it's like, we know each other, and we know, like, if she sees me getting kind of like annoyed, or like, she's like, what's your problem?
I don't think it's arguments. I think it's us checking each other.
Yeah,
that part.
That's true.
Yeah,
because my sister does the same exact thing to me. Like, I think we just know each other to a point where it's kind of like, she's not really having a great day today, and she's like taking it out. And my sister will do that, and I'll do that to my sister. And it's the same thing with Carmen. Like, if I'm annoyed with something, even the other day, like when I was here, you were I was like, why you seem annoyed? Snippy? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm just, I don't even know what was wrong.
She was, because I forgot what I did. She was
she didn't go find parking.
I didn't go find parking, right? But there were so many people coming to my house, and I did look for parking.
Right.
And she was like, you knew my sister was coming here with all these things. First of all, that was like later on in the night, right? But we were looking for parking, and there was no parking. So what am I going to do?
I was annoyed.
So she was annoyed, right? So she was all snippy. She's like, you know, I was like, girl, it's my birthday, please. You go and get the stuff.
Mind you, it wasn't her birthday no more.
It was my birthday week, right?
It was my birthday week too.
She's always trying to hijack my birthday.
We're gonna put this shit to rest right now.
She's always trying to hijack my birthday weekend, right? And we're
gonna put this to rest. Karma's birthday is the 14th.
Yes.
Vane's
this bitch's birthday is the 20th.
6 days. That's not even a week apart. So technically,
your birthday
week is my birthday week. No. It's not a full 7 days. So you can't even say it's the next week.
First of all, my birthday was 2 days. The birthday celebration in my house was 2 days after my birthday.
Okay.
Right? 4 days before hers, right?
Okay.
So her birthday, whatever. Right?
Okay, I hear you.
She got snippy because there was no parking, and her sister had to get a bunch of stuff. And she was like, "Why didn't you look for parking? You knew she had all this stuff." Like, we were looking for parking,
like a brat throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, and it's very typical of her. Her 3-year-old
very
tantrums.
typical of Libras. By the way.
I don't really throw those tantrums. She throws those tantrums a lot more.
A lot more? Yeah.
I don't think I throw those tantrums. Okay. And we could go back to Baruch
That might
days.
be more of a Scorpio tendency. Who knows?
Yeah, because they're very close to that. It's like, you want to be snippy, you be snippy for no fucking reason. You go be snippy.
And then
she came back, she ate some food, and she was good. I just give her her time. Ija, like.
So when you guys argue, because this is exactly why I wanted to bring this rawness to the table, right? I love those type of bonds, and I think this is what those bonds are really made of, and this is how they last so long, regardless of what changes any type of relationship may go through, right? So when you two have your tendency to argue as friends or have disagreements, right?
I don't think we argue.
So disagreements.
We do have disagreements.
Who tends to come around first?
Okay, So when we have disagreements, or if one of us feels a certain type of way, Carmen is usually the first one to bring it up. Carmen is a lot more blunt than I am.
Okay.
I tend to hold things in more and just keep them to myself. Whereas Carmen will be like, so I noticed that ...
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Okay.
And I hate that shit because I don't like confrontation, period. So when she puts me on the spot like that, I'm like, so, like, I have to, like, I'm not good at expressing myself with words. Like, I'm a very, very, very emotional person.
Okay.
And I find it very difficult to put my feelings into words.
Okay.
Especially if she feels
very strongly about something, or I'm very passionate about something.
Okay. Or if she feels like it's gonna be hurt her or hurt the other person.
Yeah. It's very difficult. For me, it's one of those things where I'd rather just kind of go, it doesn't exist. She will notice, and it'll make her feel uncomfortable, and she won't be okay until she says something about it. And so she's usually the first one to be like, what's wrong? What happened? What's the issue? Or if I made her feel the way, she goes, this is what you did. I didn't like it.
Right.
You're being a fucked up friend.
Okay.
And then I'm just like,
you're right.
I was like, oh my God, I thought she wouldn't notice. But she did. And then it's like, we have to confront the situation. And then that's when I'll speak to it as best I can. Like I said, I'm not really good with words. I'm not really good into putting things with words. I cry very easily.
Okay.
So do I.
Like, I'll start with like one sentence, like
you
one
bitches
word.
Don't cry.
I start with one sentence and I'm like,
listen, first of all, I know exactly what situation she's talking about, and I was at work when I was like, what the fuck, right? And I'm at work. Luckily, I was by myself.
I was at the gym working out.
And I'm crying like a little bitch.
Oh.
And so am I. Yeah, that's what she told me.
And, you know, like, we're going to go through shit, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
And you can't just throw it on the rug because you feel a certain type of way. We're going to go through it together. And then she's like, I know, and I'm sorry. And then I felt
because I literally, the whole situation that was going on, I'm not going to get into detail about it, was it took a toll on me where it was to a point where I just didn't want to discuss it because it was like kind of the unknown. And for me, that freaked me out. And I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, right? And so instead of being there to support her, I was worried about having a whole mental breakdown in front of her if something bad happened. And then just giving her, on top of what she was going through, giving her the weight of me not being strong enough to take it. So what I did what I do best, I bottled it up and never brought it up and didn't ask about it, even though I would think about it all the time, I never asked about it.
Didn't reach out to me.
Didn't reach out. Like, I even distanced myself.
A lot.
Just because I felt like if I talk to her, she's going to bring it up, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it.
And here's the problem.
I'm
because
hiding
when
behind my hands.
But here's the problem. I tend to keep a lot of things to myself. And then I get yelled at because I don't speak about it, which was something that she did and my other best friend did, right?
Okay.
So then when I do tell her, she distanced herself.
Okay.
And then it was like, bitch, this is why I don't tell you shit, right? So then it was like, at a point where I felt like I needed her the most because I'm here in Jersey by myself, I felt so alone. And it was like, so what, like, really? This is what you're going to do?
Right.
Like, we're going to talk about it. Like, I'm not going to be that, like, she's my best friend. I'm not going to be like, fuck you, you haven't been here. No, I'm the type of person, we're going to talk about it, right? I'm going to bring it up, we're going to talk about it. And you either tell me what's going on, or you don't tell me, and then I keep it moving, right? But that day, we both cried like two little bitches. And
I got an easy pass.
I understood where she was coming from.
Yeah.
I put myself in her shoes, right?
Yeah.
And yes, I was mad, but at the same time, it was like, okay, I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. And then that was it. And that's most of our, like...
And then from that day, though, I was definitely more present.
Yeah.
I came to Jersey more free. Like, I come to Jersey now more often than I've ever come before.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of one of those things. It's like, all right, she doesn't really live far. I mean, if you come during rush hour, then she lives, like, an eternity away. But if she really does not live that far.
No,
like, 11 miles.
Right.
Like, it's something ridiculous.
It's almost the same distance as my old apartment in LIC.
Like, no.
But
But now I come a lot more frequently, and it's just, it's different. We spoke about it, we did it. And it wasn't the first time. Like, I do a lot of holding things in.
Yes. Yeah. And then I just bitch at her. Like, So that's why when things happen, we know how we are, so we don't really get mad at each other because we're the same way.
Right.
So it's like, okay.
Right.
All right.
This inside look on comadres and best friends and disagreements makes me feel all the more better that I'm going to step into this role now with my best friend. Because I think that's part of the reason, because we have seen throughout the years culturally, sometimes you see, comadres or compadres end up not being in relations, right? No more relationships, no more conversations. And you worry about it because I've often have heard some of my friends say, I wish I would have chosen someone else. Because,
and not to cut you off, but that's definitely something I thought about. Like, I didn't want someone to be an estranged godparent. Like, I wanted someone that my son was going to know by name, know what their house looked like, knew what it was like to be with this person alone without me.
Exactly.
And I knew that I could have easily chosen my sister, and not. Shout out to Josh.
Yeah. We love
who's
Josh.
Very bitter. My sister's super
She's
bitter.
the godmother of my unborn
Like, don't get me
child.
wrong. My sister loves Carmen, but she's mad bitter. She wasn't the godmother because she's like, well, I'm no one's godmother.
Oh well,
she has like she's very like about
we had this conversation.
Yeah, we did
on
at my birthday.
Okay.
So just a few days ago.
So she's very, very like, this is a very sensitive subject for her.
Yeah.
But I already knew, like, my son adores my sister. Like, anything that we talk about, he's like, oh, and Titi too.
Yes.
Oh, and Titi too. Okay. Oh, but Titi said, and everything's like Titi this and Titi that and Titi this and Titi that.
And if he doesn't say Ina, I get jealous. I'm like, and what about Ina?
And he goes, oh yeah.
Right.
But it's one of those things where I just wanted someone that he was gonna know, he was gonna be able to spend time with and be comfortable with. And I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, well, I don't even know who my godmother is. Like,
yeah.
I know my godmom. It's my dad's sister. And I used to go to summers and stuff with her. But as I grew up, it kind of, we kind of got distance. But I feel like with Carmen, that's not something that's an option because she's always there. Like,
metida.
Siempre. Hello.
Listen, I see Vanessa's family as my family. Especially when my parents retired. Yeah. Like, they were the ones that were there for me.
Yeah.
And we became closer.
Yeah.
Not you and I, but like your
mom.
mother, your sister, like
100%.
Yeah. Like her mother was like, anything you need, you want me to cook? You want this? Invite Carmen. This and that.
Yeah.
And
even Christmas Day, it's like, Carmen, you have to come over.
Christmas Day, like our tradition, my tradition is their house.
Right.
That's it. Like Christmas Day, I'm going to their house.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Because we're that one rare Latino family that celebrates Christmas Day and not Christmas Eve.
I don't know what that is.
We don't do anything Christmas Eve.
Oh, no.
We go to sleep and wait for Santa.
No.
Oh, you do? You one of those?
Yeah, we're one of those. Oh. We're like white Latinos.
White Latinos.
So we don't do anything on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day, ask Carmen, the spread is out.
Yeah.
We got all the foods. We wake up early. We open gifts. We drink coquito all day. Yes. Like, this is what we do Christmas Day.
Okay.
Everybody comes over. We listen to music. It's like Christmas Eve on Christmas Day.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a whole vibe. They just have me in on a whole other tradition here.
So I do Christmas Eve with my family, and then Christmas Day, it's done.
There's no entanglements here.
Yeah, no entanglements. You already know that. So I'm glad that you brought up the thing about your sister, feeling some type of way. It's funny because my sister is the godmother to my son, to Marcus, for his baptism. But I remember when I was, making certain decisions and certain paperworks, because I am a single mother. And legally, I have full legal custody of my son. His father is very much involved, but I have full legal custody. With that being said, I've sort of kind of maybe possibly coerced his father into that if something happens to me, he should leave Marcus up here with my family and not take him. I think I'm still winning in this conversation. And I've prepared certain paperwork saying that, something happens to me, who's he going to stay with? And when I told my sister that it would not be her, she got 2 kids and she has, the husband. Oh my gosh, I did not hear the end of it. She'll still throw jabs on it. Why would you leave? Why would you leave my brothers? They don't have children. I'm like, that's exactly why I would leave them, Marcus, because they don't have fucking kids. Like, they need a kid. One of them does. But she just got so offensive, so territorial. Like, this is like on the protective mode. Like, this is her godchild. So why wouldn't I just automatically, right? Because when you pick the godmother, it's if something happens to me.
Right.
And so I told her, I said, well, for one, our brothers are always going to be around. And two, I said, you're always going to be his godmother. You're always going to be his aunt. Like, he gets, the double bonus with you, like, all in one. But she did take it very personal. And she took it as, I wouldn't even think twice if something happened to me. These kids would stay with you. I was like, pause. Like, I would take care of them, but I don't know if I would take them on entirely. Joke. I'm kidding. My boys know I would take them. But she did get very, very offended. And so I wanted to definitely dive into that because, again, I've heard it a lot lately amongst a lot of different friends, families feeling some type of way, not understanding the whole concept that sometimes those friends, to the point of what you shared the other day, friends who are like soulmates are more so like family sometimes. And so you hear so much of, oh, well, is blood thicker than water? I'm going to say it just like that. Okay. I can honestly say my best friend has been with Marcus plenty of times, just her with him. And I don't think twice or worry for 1 second when she's taking care of him. Same thing with certain cousins that I know their kids are my godchildren, and I know he's perfectly fine, and I know they know their kids are perfectly fine with me. So I think it's a matter of just the concept with this whole traditional shit, and forgive my language, but it has to be family. It doesn't have to be family. Sometimes your friends, when you think of the concept of loyalty and respect and these bonds that, essentially y'all did hear them say sororities, right? They did say they're sorority sisters, but it's like you have a sisterhood and you have such a strong bond. And when I see, with my two friends, Becky and Nicole, when you see two people that it was a terrible breakup, that person is completely out of the equation, won't talk to the cousin for, he says, you're taking her side. It's not that. They genuinely have a friendship. They're genuinely comadres. They both love this child the same way. One and the same. Just one actually gave birth to him. Like, it goes beyond your relationship. It's about the kid at this point. And that's the importance with the role itself. And it kind of just resonated with me with, can I tell you I'm religiously at church every Sunday? Yes. Can I tell you it's for religious purposes? No. But I do go. I do. And every so often I do pay attention to what the priest says. And it's like, you do sometimes have to think about that. Even if I don't go religiously, like, there is a purpose here when you are deciding to raise your children in this world, right? And there's certain discipline behind it, and there's certain meaning behind it, and certain purpose behind it. So when you pick that person, it's meaningful. There's a reason to it. And I will say this, as much as she is territorial with Cadian, he is very territorial and very protective of his Ina. I'm just going to say that.
He is. And just as a quick sidebar, though, you talk about the family thing, like, Carmen, my mom, and my sister.
You could leave us alone.
If anything ever happened to me, first and foremost, my mom would be like, "Fo," which is FOH, fuck out of here. This is my kid. Like, period. That's it. But I know this is very cliche, but it does take a village. And these 3 women, I would be 100% lost without them.
That's right.
From when Cadian was born to where Cadian is now, the 3 people aside from me that Cadian has seen every single day of his life, like that he knows they are there and present, are my mom, my sister, and Carmen. That's it. If I'm working and my mom has to do something, or my sister has to do something, then Carmen's like, all right, I'll take him. It's one of those things, like, his dad doesn't stand the chance, and he knows that. His dad knows that if anything were to happen to me, he would not have Cadian. He already is aware of that, and he's 100% okay with that. Because he knows, like, my mom is going to have him. Because I had this conversation with his dad. I said, if something happens to me, he's like, yeah, I know, mommy's going to take him.
So I try not to think about it, right?
Right.
But I already know, like, he's not going to be mine. I already know that.
But the thing is, she already knows also that even though he may not be living with her,
right,
she is still going to be, because my mom would literally be like, Carmen, ven busca Kadia. All of a sudden, but it's just one of those things, like, they all have to understand, we all have the understanding. Like, if I'm working and my mom calls me and I'm like, llama Carmen, llama, llama Jaje, like, call them. They'll figure it out. And they always do. Like, it's so easy. Even, we had an issue with my mom a few weeks ago, and Carmen was like, just come stay in my house. And my sister was like, just drop her off in my house. It's fine. Like, it's no big deal. Like, it's never a burden for anyone. And I think that also has to do with them. My kid is not a pain in the ass. Thank God.
Thank God. But at the same time, even if he was,
everyone would still take him. They have no choice.
We have no choice. Like, I take the godmother duty very seriously.
That part.
You know,
yes.
like, but I have this bond with this little kid that is like,
yeah,
his personality, man, is like
he be on 10. He's on 10.
But it's just
yes.
like, he has such a dope personality. And like, I told my parents, like, listen, I might not have a kid. This is your grandson. I'm just like, yep, this is my kid. Like,
yeah.
Honey, thanks for the gift. Like, this is the best thing you ever did. This is the best thing you've
thanks
ever
for doing that 9-month bid.
And Kaden is very aware of that because we read a book called Bodega Cat, and the little cat talks about, he learned how to cook from his family in Dominican Republic. And the first time I read the book to him, and I said he learned how to cook from the family in Dominican Republic, he stopped me and goes, "That's where Ina's dad is from."
Oh.
And I was like,
yes, he is.
Yes, he knows. He knows.
And he calls my dad Pa, and it's so cute.
Yeah. And I think that's what's really beautiful. It's like both your families have really come together. All in essence,
100%.
With this kid. You know, it's pretty fucking dope that you guys have that bond, and the families do too.
And sorry to cut you off, but you mentioned soulmate, and it's, we always say that we're each other's soulmate, and it's funny because it's like, I'm like, okay, if I were a lesbian, I probably would be married to Vanessa.
I mean, listen. I have no shame in this.
The way 2020 is going.
She did not just.
What's the name of the movie? Larry. Whatever the name of the movie is.
I know which one. With Adam Sandler.
Yeah. The guy from King of Queens. Nope.
Yep. Chuck and Larry.
Chuck and Larry.
There you go. Chuck and Larry.
I
wasn't gonna let that shit go.
So,
she want to be Chuck.
But yeah, it's like I tell Vanessa all the time, like, bitch, you're my soulmate, like, you know, you're my fucking soulmate. It doesn't necessarily have to be your husband, your wife.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, that's right.
We are so similar that sometimes it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like, her sister is like,
I mean, you've witnessed that. But you know what? Me and my sister also are like, my sister and I finish each other's sentences. Carmen is just like already in my brain.
Right.
So it's like.
So she can also be you, essentially.
Right.
Got it.
And my sister too.
Yeah.
Like it's a very
fucking
weird
scary
thing.
Yeah. So speaking of the women, I swear they just like to put their fucking foot in their mouth. I swear. You guys are comadres, dynamic duo. And speaking of the women that you guys are, I think you guys are very sassy and feisty in your own ways. But I've heard some myths. About, you know, in case you guys remember, Karma was on my show some time ago. She kind of threw a little snippet in there about, you know, a little something she does. Thank you for joining us on part 1 of this very spicy Libra episode with 2 amazing friends of mine who are amazing friends themselves. They share their intimate side. And don't forget to tune in to part 2, the even spicier side of the episode. Tune in. Bye.